we think about working and creating collaboration with people, this comes from the work of William Isaacs, who wrote Dialogue. We think about where we want to be. We want to have generative dialogue. We want to be co-creating solutions, but there's a path to it. So if we look at where we start in a group and even in a meeting, we start in the space of courteous compliance. This move, follow, 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 follow. Okay, we will not go anywhere until we get into the breakdown, the debate, or the clash. So, any guesses what the structural pattern here is?
Seems very similar to the forming, storming, norming, performing model.
Yeah. And from a structure perspective, what do you think? Which of those 4 speech acts get used and in which way? Yeah. So it's move, oppose, move, oppose, move, oppose. Okay. While we're in number 1 or number 2, we are only reenacting the current reality. We have to get to thinking together, which means that we have to bring in the opposers. So this is the first place where naturally all 4 exist. But generally, when we get into this space, we still need a facilitator. We still need somebody to be watching the structure of what we are doing and calling for that which is missing through bystands, generally. I'm noticing that we haven't had a new move on the table, since, for the last 5 minutes. Okay. And it's only when we get practiced in this that we can do this as a group. We can get into this generative co-creating space by ourselves and naturally. Okay. So I have been working with this model for the last 3 years. I can tell you that I will be learning about this for the next 50 years, if I live that long. Okay. And what I've noticed is the quality of the conversations that I can facilitate and that I myself can have, especially if I educate those that I facilitate, has grown exponentially. Especially if we start looking at the additional levels of Cantor's model. So I'll just tell you briefly about them. The second layer is the way that we like to communicate, our communication domain. So some of us like to communicate, speak our words in meaning, which is intellectually an explanation. Some of us speak it in power, which is about moving ahead and getting stuff done. And some of us speak from the heart, which is about relationships and about how people feel and experience things. The third layer below that gets formed in our childhood already, and that's whether we believe that that there are rules and the way the world works, and we act according to it, or whether we believe that it depends on every individual how they want to act, or whether we believe that if we are in a situation together, that we should agree on how to act. So the complexity of all of these together create a model that is so rich, it creates a whole new future and possibilities for dialoguing. That's really why most of us become Agile coaches. We want people to be able to work together. If you want to learn more, in the slide back I've given you some references for books, blogs that you can read, and also for training, so you can get trained in the basics. So we actually teach the basics in our facilitation, team coaching and team facilitation classes. We do go into quite a bit of depth in some of our advanced facilitation classes. And we also work with a group in London, actually, Dialogics, for the more advanced training.